when the team was announced in, 97, and they started building the arena, I'm a career radio guy. And when the team came to Columbus and they started building the arena, the radio station I worked for, my studio looked right down Nationwide Arena. And I could just see the southwest corner of the arena as it was going up. And talked to an affiliate of our radio station, and he said, have you tried out for the Blue Jackets PA announcer's job? And I went, no. And he said, why not? And I said, I never thought about it. So I decided to, and who knew 25 years later, I'd still be doing it. My auditioning for the PA job spanned 7 auditions, and at one point I actually stepped back and was not going to be the PA announcer. The very first audition was actually done at the Columbus Athenaeum because the team had not taken possession of the arena yet. So I went in, there were 5 of us, then it was down to 2 of us, and we were supposed to do the preseason games. I ended up doing all of the preseason games. The team asked me back again to read even more, and I was a little off-put, but now looking back, I understand what their concerns were because again, I did not really understand what I was getting myself into. I stepped back, we re-engaged, I ended up getting the job, and it's been, it was a real education those first few weeks, first few months, actually learning how the NHL works. Because it is a totally different beast than just a guy who's been in radio, at the time for 15 years, of reading a 30-second radio script, right? This is stuff that's done on the fly, and you need to know what's going on, what the circumstances are, what the situations are, and how it all goes together and what your role is. I did not know anything about the sport of hockey, but I could announce, and I could read scripts, and I could learn the game, which was really interesting because until I got into it and started doing it, I did not really have an appreciation for how knowledgeable hockey fans are. When this team came to town, one of the best things that happened was when Doug McLean came in and sold this sport to this city. It was amazing. Now there are so many sheets of ice that I can't even keep track of them. There's one going up in Delaware, multiple sheets of ice that are going up in a new facility up in Delaware, and you still can't get ice, right? So the sport has really taken off. The high school level it's just amazing to see how many teams there are and how good the teams are. Just a couple of years ago, Olentangy Liberty won the state championship. First Columbus team to do it, and they did it in a big way. I got to announce that game, and what's really funny is one of our TV timeout coordinator's son played on that team, and he was so geeked that he got to hear his son's name announced by me in the high school state championship. And we do those events, those high school games, very much like we do a Blue Jackets game, because we know for a lot of these kids, this is going to be like the apex of their career, right? It's going to be either the end of their real competitive years of playing hockey, or it's going to be one of those stepping stones that they really remember as they go on to college or advance their hockey careers. When I first took the job, I told the team, I'll give you a year. I promise I won't bail in the middle of the season. I'll give you a year. My wife and I will reevaluate at the end of the season, and we'll see where we go. So we get down to about 10 games left in the season, and I sit down next to my boss, who sat right next to me in the penalty box at the time. And she said, have you thought about next year? And I went, well, no, not yet. And she goes, I'll give you a raise. And I said, I'll talk to my wife tonight. So, have I done games that I shouldn't have because I was really sick? Absolutely. I was not going to miss Mario Lemieux the year that he came back, which was our first season, right? When he came to Columbus, Ohio to play. I did that game with a temperature over 100. I had been sick for 2 days before. I had gone home from work. I took some Theraflu. I drove downtown. I distinctly remember coming down 315 and my scalp is tingling from the Theraflu. Did the game, went home, went back to bed for 2 more days, right? I mean, but yeah, have there been games that I probably should not have done because I was sick? Absolutely. The second lockout that we went through, I had committed to go on a 20th anniversary cruise with my wife, and I was going to miss a game. Well, that was in the fall. The lockout happened, we missed the first half of the season, so I didn't miss that game. I still got to go on the cruise. It was great, right? It worked out really, really well. So I try and take care of my voice. I don't do anything, crazy, trying to take care of my voice, but as long as I don't do something stupid to hurt my voice or I don't get really sick, I just don't get laryngitis. And I just want to be there. I just want to be there. I never walk into that building feeling like I'm going to a job. It is, first of all, it's a privilege, right? I mean, there are 30 guys in the world, really, that do what I do. So it is a privilege to do what I do. And I'm doing what I was created to do. I like to tell people my spiritual gift is to talk and talk and talk and talk, right? I really enjoy, shout out to Mason, my kid takeover night kid. Mason has done 2 games with me. This kid is phenomenal. He was great his first year. Last year, I was so excited to find out that he was coming back. And I'm not kidding you, after the game, Mason had a gaggle around him of I don't know if people were asking for autographs or pictures or what, but he was awesome. So I love Kid Takeover Night, but there are 3 nights that really stand out in my mind. One is game related, one's related to the organization, and one actually is very personal to me. I told this story before. The game 1 has to be game 4 of the year we swept Tampa Bay in 2019. We had completed what was one of the biggest sports upsets in Columbus history. You think sports upsets, some of the greatest ever, James Buster Douglas, right? Guy from Columbus. This is right up there. It was huge. I mean, we manhandled Tampa that year, right? So game 4 of the Tampa sweep, we finished it out. Nobody left because the entire arena was celebrating, and I couldn't bring myself to leave the penalty box. I was just so excited for the organization and for the fans. They had waited so long for this. It had been almost 20 years, right? So that was game related. Organization related, right after Mr. Mack passed, when we honored him on opening night, I got to MC that, and I distinctly remember standing at center ice with the projections of Mr. Mack on the ice as we're doing the moment of silence. And I was keenly aware of the HVAC system in the ceiling, hearing the hum of those fans, of the HVAC. That's how quiet it was. And that's how much people honored Mr. Mack and how much people loved Mr. Mack. It was that quiet in the building that I could hear the HVAC, a couple hundred feet above me. And then the real personal one is just before he passed, my 96-year-old grandfather got to come see me do what I was created to do. We thought Grandpap was gonna fall asleep in the suite that the team was nice enough to give us, but he did not. He stayed awake for the whole time. He was on the pregame show that Mike Todd and I do, and I've got video of that, and it was just a really special moment for me personally to see my grandfather come and get to see what I do. The Blue Jackets are a small part of my career. I'm a career broadcaster. Since I graduated from OU in 1990, I've been in radio broadcasting. I've worked for several radio stations in Columbus. One outside of Columbus. I spent 16 months in Memphis. But now, for the past 18 years, my wife Julie and I have owned a radio and TV production company. So we work predominantly with Christian radio stations around the country, and we do 3 things. We do imaging, which is the stuff you hear on the radio that talks about the radio station between songs. We do concert tour, radio production. We create commercials for concerts, and we do commercials predominantly for Christian radio stations. And I've been a full-time freelancer for 18 years now. My wife Julie, who is the POF, we call her the Princess of Finance because she does all the important stuff. She manages the business side of the company, and I'm the CBO, I'm the Chief Blabbing Officer. I talk, that's what I do. So a typical day is we're running this business, and then 41 nights out of the year, I get to go down to the arena and hang out with 20,000 of my friends and watch some hockey. And now we're spending a lot of time trying to amply spoil our 3-month-old grandson. We get to spend the day with him, we get to have fun with him, we get to wind him up, and then we get to give him back. My faith plays so much of a role in what we do. God got a hold of my heart back in the early 2000s. It actually moved me to leave the mainstream radio station I was working at and come across town to come to the Christian radio station, not because the people were bad, but because it was the early 2000s and you could say and do whatever you want on the radio. And I had 2 young kids who I was gonna have to explain why they couldn't listen to their dad's radio station. The River had a need. They had just gone to all music. Coincidence? I don't think so. And they needed a production director, which is what I did. And I worked here at the River for 3.5 years, and then went out on my own as a full-time freelancer, but now I still work as a contractor with the radio station, and now it's been 21 plus years that I've been an employee in some way, shape, or form with 104.9 The River. So that faith kind of transitions into what we do as far as fundraising and charity work. My wife Julie and I are huge advocates for the Central Ohio Alzheimer's Association. We lost Julie's mom back in 2017 to Alzheimer's, and a couple of years back I caught my wife at a weak moment and said, hey, we ought to do a charity golf outing, which she agreed to. Fast forward 5 years, we've done 5 events. This year we did a second event. I actually played 76 holes of golf in one day with our co-host to honor Julie's mom and his dad. Julie's mom had lived to be 76 before she passed from Alzheimer's. I again caught Julie at a weak moment and said, hey, I'd like to do this. And she said, okay. So 5 years later, we're nearing $250,000 that our little golf outing has managed to raise through sponsors and golfers and volunteers that we've been able to raise to help and support the Central Ohio Alzheimer's Association. Every year my wife makes fun of me because every year I say, you know what, this could be the year that we win the cup. And you just never know. We weren't given a chance in 2019, were we? Nope. But we came really close. That second round, we beat Boston. I think we're playing for the Stanley Cup in 2019. I believe with the folks that we have in place that we have just as good a chance, if not even a better chance, of building a team that can win the Stanley Cup, that can compete year in, year out in the playoffs and eventually make the cup. Make no bones about it. The Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy in sports to win. Hands down, no doubt. With free agency and the way things work and having just the right chemistry among the players that you have, it is hard. So to see, teams like Florida that have been so dominant just these past couple of years, and the Pens of the past and the Red Wings of the past, that's really, really hard to do. You've got to have good people in the office, you got to have good coaching, you got to have good players. It's really difficult, but boy, is the ride worth it.